A lot of women, some women have problems in Shalom bayis, and they ask me what to do, this and that. And I tell women to bake challahs. They say, why bake challahs? And especially women that they're 21st century and the Goyish idea of women's liberation come in. What do we mean bake challahs? I have never in my career seen a divorce in a family with the smell of fresh challahs on Friday. This makes it Hamish. It turns a house of wood and masonry into a home, to yiddishkeit. And the husband doesn't realize, but his heart is connected there. The kids, when they come home from Friday at noon, they come home from cheder, and there's a smell of challahs. The kids, they're never going to want to leave a home like that. Well, what's yiddishkeit? Yiddishkeit is fresh baked challahs.
It's the food.
And sometimes I feel like a Ukrainian peasant farmer, that's harvesting potatoes, but he's got a hole in the bag. We go around the world spreading Hashem's name, bringing people close to Hashem, showing a Yid in North Dakota that there's a Ribbon Shalom they could talk to. And then we turn around, and right here in New York, thousands of kids going off the derech. And not only in New York, in Bnei Brak, in L.A., in Miami, everywhere, all over the religious world.
Why is that?
So why are we doing? I have two reasons. The first reason I call the hellfire and brimstone yiddishkeit. You don't talk to a child like that. When you threaten, and he sees the yiddishkeit as this threatening thing, and the Ribbon Shalom that only knows how to send bolt of lightning out of things. That's goyish thinking. That's not. Yeah. What does the Torah say in Kisavoy after we learned the 98 curses? Why the 98 curses? Not because of illicit sex, and not because of bloodshed, and not because of idolatry, not because of the three big averas that's derech v'bal yavol, the only three averas that we should give our lives and not. Yeah. Torah says, "Tachat asher lo avata et Hashem Elokecha b'simcha."
Serve God with joy.
Serve God with joy. The Torah says if the reason all the curses in your life is because you don't serve Hashem with joy. And this I can't understand. Why the long faces? Who needs that? You know something? This is the 21st century. Out in the gutter, out in the street, there's lots of love. What's called cheap love. We both know it's not real love. And there's lots of cheap thrills. Okay. When kids don't get the love at home, they look for it on the outside. When all the time it's schlugging and it's yelling and this, as kids are slapped. And the one thing, and Rav Shalom, by the way, Bezrat Hashem, I think Rav Shalom is planning very soon a book on child education. And one of the things that's going to be in that book you can hear on our CDs. By the way, in addition to the books, we have CDs. Mm-hmm. Rav Shalom CDs in Hebrew are in the tens of millions. And our CDs that Hashem has given me the privilege to do, there's the English voice of Rav Shalom, where there's 100 titles already, over 100 titles, and they're well up in the seven figures. But one of the things about kids is that we never hit our kids. We tell them to hit your children? For what? Our children are mirrors of us. The most powerful thing in child education is personal example. Okay. But if a father is not happy in his davening, if he looks at learning, it's a weight, an old, and he looks at davening, it's a weight, and he trudges away to shul. But, when a child sees his father, and he's into his davening, and he's enraptured, talk to Ribbon Shalom.
And that's what he's going to follow.
And they say, what's Tata so happy about? When a daughter looks at the mother, and the mother's lighting Shabbos candles, and the mother feels like she's Kohen Gadol with the Ner Ma'aravi, and the sky is opened up, and she's got a tear in her eye, she's praying for her family, she's got a smile on her face, and she looks like a malach. And daughter says, I want to be beautiful like mommy. I want to do what mommy's doing. But when they hear the father complaining about Rebbeim and the mother complaining about this, and the price of Chalav Yisrael is so expensive, and the Ganovonim to make money, they're not going to want any part of that. They're going to be out in the street, and then you got your off the derech kids. Because the parents lack emunah, and the parents aren't serving Hashem happily. Now I know it's a major generation; it's a generalization. But have to know, the more the parents are into emunah and the joy of yiddishkeit, when you have a Shabbos table, that's an event for the whole family, and everyone, they talk and discuss. That's why I wrote Hasidic Pearls, the show for people that didn't know how to say Torah in a Shabbos table, to say a story about the parsha, and the story has a parable, a moral, okay,
something that
everyone in the family, from the 3-year-old that could just learn how to talk a year ago, and to the Zaydet, they can all, how each one understands. And that the Shabbos table should be a memorable event. And it should be it's a time for family together. Nobody can ever leave a Shabbos table. We have, and it's a really lovely, lovely group, that usually when I come to New York, I meet with a group in Williamsburg, and 400 young people, and the group is much bigger. The group is bigger than 1,000. But there are loads of kids in Williamsburg that went away from the shver, what I call the hellfire yiddishkeit.
Yeah.
And they went off the derech, and they found that the streets are cold and not caring. And they come back, by way of Garden Emunah. This year in Uman alone, there were 5 jumbo jets from Williamsburg alone.
Of these?
Not only these, but the Satmar, people can't believe it. Satmar Hasidim, that they came to Uman. To come to Rabbi Nachman. And the beautiful thing about these young people, the beautiful, beautiful thing is that they're now self-made Yidden. In other words, when a kid, the disadvantage of a Baal Tshuva knows what he's doing, when he's doing, and why he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he picked his derech. Not only that, I could come and go wherever I want. And I've been everywhere. Hasidim and the Litvaks and the Sephardim. That's one of the reasons that helps my Avos Yisrael, which is my favorite mitzvah in the Torah, to love everybody, because you look for the good in everybody, and you can learn from everybody. You learn from everyone, every single one. You can learn good stuff. But here these guys now that they've been rock bottom and they're working their way up, they have picked a yiddishkeit of emunah. They know what they're doing. You should see the way they daven. They're talking to the Ribono Shel Olam, and they're learning because they want to learn what they want to learn, when they want to learn, and not because somebody is shaking a whip at them. All right, and they're happy. And guys getting married and raising wonderful families, and this is a very, very healthy thing. So one of the things I would tell, you look at the curriculum, and people say, no, we don't change the Mulligat site that way. Okay, but you ever notice in the sports pages on Monday morning, which coach do they interview? They don't interview the winning coach. They interview the losing coach. You know why?
He has what to say.
You don't have to make excuses why you won the game.
Yeah.
If you won a game, and what's a winner in life?
There's not much to say.
A winner in life is when you got a shmeichel, when you're happy. You don't have to make excuses why you're happy. People all the time got an excuse why I did.
I didn't check the paper this morning, but I'm sure something about the Jets coach is there.
I didn't hear that. What, the Jets, they lost?
From what I'm hearing.
Okay. But, this is it. So, a whole thing in chinuch, to keep the kids on the track. I know the Rebbeim talk about the internet, they talk about cell phones, they talk about this. All these things, they're correct. But it's the symptom. It's not the disease. The disease is lack of emunah and lack of simcha. The kids are being raised, and you got to be a mishnayos by heart. And of course, the Tosfos Baba Kama, the world stands on Tosfos Baba Kama. But the kid doesn't understand why he's learning Tosfos Baba Kama.
He's got to learn that reason.
Yeah, he's got to learn the reason. The reason is emunah, to get close to Hashem. And once he understands the rationale that there's Ribono Shel Olam, and he's brought up to talk to Ribono Shel Olam, not just daven, rote daven like a you could go to a pet store and teach a parrot how to daven.
Yeah.
Okay, but our kids aren't parrots; they're neshamalach. And we teach them that they could talk to Ribono Shel Olam, and the Tata in Himmel, he can hear, he listens, and he does listen, and he answers. And what? The Ribono Shel Olam listens to me? Yes. And it gives a child a whole other mindset, a whole other angle, and this is not that he's in fear of the Ribono Shel Olam, he's in awe of the Ribono Shel Olam. Yiras shomayim, people translate it wrong. They say yira, it's fear. It's not pachad. Okay, it's awe. It's awe. And what's real yiras shomayim? That you don't want to insult your wife because you love her so much. You don't want to insult your mother and father and say, how can I do something and bring mommy and tati so much pain? Okay? When you really love somebody, that you want to bring them nachas, you want to bring them gratification, that's a yiras shomayim. Not just the fear of the punishment, but the fear of not giving them gratification. When you have your own personal relationship with the Rebbeinu Shalom, it warms you up inside. The good, the less good, it's all from the Rebbeinu Shalom, it's all for the best.